Reddit story, the favor by an old friend turned millionaire, Redux. AITA for secretly wiping out my old college roommate's debt, upgrading his wedding and buying him and his wife their dream house, all because he bought me pizza years ago. Pushpin background, the college days. My name is Josh and I have to take you back 15 years to college. I was financially struggling, a true pauper on campus. I was on a full scholarship, but every spare dollar went to rent, leaving me constantly anxious about food and basic necessities. My roommate Danny was my guardian angel. He never asked for anything in return. He'd buy groceries for both of us, claiming his parents sent too much. If we got pizza, he'd pay and say,
"We'll split it next time."
knowing full well the next time would never arrive for me. That little cushion of dignity Danny gave me, the peace of mind that I wouldn't starve, was invaluable. I also knew his fiancée, Linda, from our study group. She was just as good-natured as Danny and shared his kindness, always making sure I had the necessary textbooks or a warm jacket during the cold winters. After graduation, they went into teaching and social work, noble professions but financially demanding. I meanwhile drifted into tech, barely getting by. Moneybag, the turning point, the $3,000 gamble. 8 years ago, I hit my lowest point. I was 26, jobless, and had about $3,000 left in savings. I was facing eviction. In an act of pure desperation, I took the ultimate gamble. I poured every penny of that $3,000 into a fledgling cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. I convinced myself I was betting on a new future, but really I was just scared and out of options. I eventually got a stable job and completely forgot about the investment. Until 4 years ago, when I remembered my wallet address and checked the balance. My $3,000 had become over $30 million. The money was life-altering. After the initial shock, I worked with lawyers and planners to manage the funds, opting for a quiet life without the flash. I never forgot that the only reason I had that $3,000 left to invest was because Danny and Linda had been subtly covering my basic needs for 4 years. Envelope, the invitation, the red flag. 6 months ago, I got the wedding invitation from Danny and Linda. I was genuinely excited. Then Danny called me, asking me to pay for my room at the venue up front, stating they were tight on the budget. This was my signal. I reached out to our mutual friend Mark, who spilled the tragic details. Massive debt. Danny had $150,000 in medical bills from an emergency surgery, and Linda was carrying significant student loan debt. They were working side jobs and were completely financially stressed. The wedding, it was a bare-bones event, minimal catering, no photographer, and a cheap venue rental because of their debt burden. The honeymoon, a 3-day camping trip they could barely afford. Linda's dream. Mark reminded me of Linda's favorite obscure alt-rocker from the 90s, Ethan Thorne. She was a superfan. I saw my opportunity to repay the debt that truly mattered, the debt of dignity and friendship. Executing the slam, pre-wedding gifts. I decided on a two-pronged attack: fix their financial foundation and give them the wedding of their dreams. Phase 1, wiping the slate clean. I got my legal team to work. Using anonymous trusts and wire transfers, we targeted and paid off every cent of their student loans and Danny's massive medical bills. The final payment notifications were sent out to them, sealed and labeled "Paid in Full Anonymous Benefactor." I instructed the banks and hospitals to say only that the debt was settled, with no further details. Phase 2, the wedding upgrade. I called the venue, paid the remaining balance, and upgraded their package to include the expensive catering, premium bar, and extending the time by 3 hours. I insisted the venue owner tell Danny and Linda that the original quote was miscalculated and all the upgrades were included at the lower price. Phase 3, the star power. This was the most complicated. I tracked down Ethan Thorne's agent and offered a fee that was absolutely enormous, an amount impossible to refuse for a short, private surprise set at the wedding. He agreed. Ring the wedding day surprise. The wedding was perfect. The upgraded food was amazing, the flowers were stunning, and Danny and Linda looked genuinely relieved and happy. Danny cornered me at the bar.
"Josh, I don't know what happened,"
he said, shaking his head.
"First, our debts just vanished. It has to be a relative, right? And the venue told us the whole premium package was included in our basic rate. I'm totally bewildered."
I just smiled and told him it sounded like karma was finally paying him back. Then came the surprise. As the DJ was wrapping up, he announced, "We have one final, incredible gift for the happy couple. Please welcome Ethan Thorne. Linda screamed a genuine, stunned scream. Danny stared at me, then at the stage, then back at me, his eyes wide with a question he couldn't ask. Thorne played a short, incredible set dedicating a song to their future. It was the absolute climax of the evening. House with garden, the post-wedding gift, the true reveal. The day after the wedding, before they left for the now-booked, first-class Maldives honeymoon, which I also anonymously gifted, they called me.
Josh, we know it's you, Linda said, her voice trembling. The debt, the venue, the honeymoon, and especially Ethan Thorne. Only you would know how much that meant to me.
I didn't deny it this time. I simply said, you two gave me a life I wouldn't have had otherwise. This is my repayment. I waited until they were back from the honeymoon. 2 days after they returned, a lawyer showed up at their apartment. He presented them with the deed to a beautiful, fully paid-off craftsman house, their long-admired dream home I had bought and titled to them while they were away. The accompanying note was short. Welcome home. This house is free of all mortgages and debt. May you live a long, happy, and worry-free life. Love, an old friend. They finally grasped the total scale of the intervention. Danny called me, completely speechless.
You saved us, Josh. You truly saved us.
I was happy, but it makes me wonder. AITA for interfering in my friend's financial life with such extreme, life-altering generosity, even though they helped me when I was poor.